Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video looks at a dramatic and unsettling moment in the Russia-Ukraine war. Reports of Moscow facing unexpected strikes have sparked global attention. At the same time, signals from the Kremlin suggest a possible shift in posture, with talk of withdrawal from certain fronts. Together, these developments raise serious questions about escalation, strategy, and the human cost of a conflict that continues to reshape global security. This discussion will stay grounded and objective. The goal is not to inflame emotions, but to understand what these events could mean. We will explore context, history, and global reactions. We will also reflect on the humanitarian impact that often gets lost behind headlines and military analysis. Let's begin with the core claim making waves. Reports indicate that Russia's capital has faced a surprising form of attack linked to the ongoing war with Ukraine. Moscow is not just a political center, it is the symbolic heart of the Russian state. Any perceived strike near or around the capital carries weight far beyond its immediate effect. For much of the war, Moscow has felt distant from the front lines. The conflict has been concentrated in eastern and southern Ukraine, with occasional incidents deeper inside Russian territory. A development that appears to bring the war closer to Moscow challenges assumptions held by civilians, policymakers, and international observers alike. At the same time, Russian leadership has hinted at the idea of withdrawal from certain positions. This language matters. Withdrawal can mean many things. It can suggest tactical repositioning, political signaling, or even an attempt to reset negotiations. It does not always mean defeat, but it often signals pressure. To understand why this moment matters, we need to step back. The war did not begin suddenly. It is rooted in years of tension between Russia and Ukraine, shaped by history, identity, and competing security visions. Ukraine's path toward closer ties with Europe has long been seen by Moscow as a threat. Russia's leadership has repeatedly framed the issue as one of national security and historical unity. When the full-scale invasion began in 2022, many expected a short conflict. That expectation proved wrong. Ukraine resisted with determination, backed by international support. Over time, the war evolved into a grinding struggle marked by territorial gains and losses on both sides. As the months turned into years, the conflict settled into a pattern. Front lines shifted slowly, long-range capabilities became more important. Economic pressure and sanctions shaped strategic decisions. Public opinion inside and outside the region also became a factor. Against this backdrop, any indication that the conflict might be reaching deeper into Russia itself carries symbolic power. Even limited incidents can influence public perception. They can affect morale. They can also reshape political narratives. For Russian authorities, maintaining the image of control has been crucial. The capital represents stability and authority. If people begin to feel that the war is no longer distant, the social and political consequences could be significant. From Ukraine's perspective, demonstrating the ability to strike high-profile targets, or at least to challenge the sense of invulnerability, serves strategic goals. It can send a message to both domestic and international audiences. It can reinforce the idea that Ukraine is not only defending, but adapting. However, it is important to approach such reports carefully. Information warfare plays a major role in modern conflict. Claims are often amplified, denied, or reframed to serve strategic interests. Independent verification is not always immediate. That uncertainty itself is part of the story. In today's wars, perception can matter almost as much as reality. A reported strike can influence markets, diplomacy, and public opinion even before full details are known. Now let's turn to the idea of withdrawal. When leaders use that word, they are often balancing multiple audiences. Domestically, withdrawal can be framed as a responsible choice, a way to protect lives or consolidate gains. Internationally, it can signal openness to de-escalation, or at least to a change in approach. Historically, Russia has used withdrawals strategically. In past conflicts, pulling back from exposed positions has sometimes preceded renewed offensives elsewhere. In other cases, it has reflected logistical strain or political calculation. For Ukraine and its supporters, any Russian pullback is closely watched. It can offer opportunities, but it also carries risks. Vacated areas may be heavily damaged. They may contain unexploded ordnance. Re-establishing governance and services is never simple. The humanitarian dimension here is crucial. Every shift in the front line affects civilians. Families are displaced. Infrastructure is strained. Access to food